So we're going to the first part of this assembly will be drilling the front rungs into the front legs. And in this assembly, just like in the simpler assembly with no raker splay, the front legs have no raker splay, so they're vertical. And we just need to hold them in a jig to drill. This is the same, this is identical to the drilling process, the holding jig and the drilling process we use in the simpler assembly. Place both legs in the jig, rotate them. We do have angle of rotation that we're aiming for. Mark the drilling locations, lock them in place. Just to review, this square represents the path of the drill bit, and the bench represents the drill press table. And
you've made sure that your table is 90 degrees to the travel, right?
Yeah. So simple. The same as this chair that has raker splay. The raker splay is only in the rear legs. So the front leg assembly, the front leg drilling, or the front rungs is identical to the front leg drilling for the front rung legs in the assembly with no raker splay. And we drill both legs, and the assembly goes together like that. We'll do the rear rungs. So in this one, remember that the rear rungs splay. So if you look at the two rear rungs, the bottom one is longer than the top one. Is there a problem with that?
Doesn't match.
Yeah, they wouldn't go together like this. So we have to figure out what this angle is. And we did that with that trapezoid. We did that with this. We know the rung lengths. We know the distance they are apart. Distance they are apart are the run. This gap here. So this rung just on this side is 3/8 longer than this rung. So the angle is 3/8 over 4 5/8. If you project that over 12 inches, this rise is 1 inch. So 1 inch over 12 inches is the same angle as 3/8 over 4 5/8.
And you chose 12 because this jig has got a 12-inch run.
We're applying it to a jig, and when you're designing a drilling jig, you want it to be long enough to be accurate and short enough to be easy to use. You can make this jig twice as long, but your drill press table would have to accommodate that. It would be slightly more accurate. So there's a balance between, if you made this half as long, one, it would not be as accurate, and two, it would be probably not as easy to use. So the 12 inches for these chairs is good.
Okay.
On the bar stool, I actually have a longer one.
Okay.
Because the legs are much longer, so I do have to have a longer one. So the difference between these two are, this one's flat, no riser block. This one has a 1 inch riser block. The 12 inches goes from this corner to that corner, and then the rise is 1 inch. Now, when we put this in here, the legs in here to drill, vertical. The process is the same. We put both rear legs in here and drill. Well, no, actually on the rear legs we're doing them one at a time, but that's a discussion for a different. That's a different discussion. So let's just assume for what we're doing, we're putting both legs in here, drilling all 4 mortises, and when they go together. The goal is to get these rungs parallel to the bench top, and that's what this does. The other issue we have with actual legs that have a top is the angle of rotation of the legs. completely irrelevant to what we're talking about here.
Right.
We do have to deal with that, and we'll show you how we deal with that. But that's has nothing to do with these drilling angles are the same. We do have to rotate the legs to the angle of the slats, the rear leg. So there'd be more rear leg above here, but that irrelevant to this discussion. So front legs, front rungs, side rungs, pretty easy, and very similar to what we did on the chair without rake and splay.